blessed. I had a really wonderful weekend with friends, special someone, and geez, went by so fast. It always does. So one of the things that I recognize, and I've come on here quite often to talk about, is gratitude, right? Sometimes I'm guilty of it. I can get into, thinking of, complaining of how the weather is, how tired I am, how this isn't fair, I've got this to do, or my back hurts. My back is killing me this morning. That's a whole nother show, but oh my God. So I have lower back problems, and I really, I did a number on it yesterday, so I'm hurting today. It's really hard to walk. Anyway, so remaining grateful, and I make my gratitude list every morning, and listening to this song. I love this song by Pat Benatar, Somebody's Baby, and it's talking about this man who's homeless and seems like nobody cares. He's not seen, but there was a time when he was somebody's baby. He was much cared for. Someone rocked him before they took his soul. Anyway, so I'm reminded how grateful I am. I've got some friends that are struggling, that are going through some really difficult times, and I mean, I feel bad, but like I said, at the same time, I am just so grateful. I am grateful that I don't have that in my life right now. My kids are in my life. I'm so blessed. They're really good kids, despite me. I mean, I was a good mom. I did my best, but I mean, we all have our flaws. So, being a child of an alcoholic, I'm sure, there's a lot of issues with that. It's very difficult, but it made them who they are today too, right? They're very compassionate kids and understanding of the disease and whatnot. So there was a time when my daughter worked with me at it was a dual diagnosis unit. It was detox, and at first she didn't think she was capable. Like she wasn't an addict. She didn't have that experience. I says, no, but you have a mother that was and is, and so you have that perspective, and she really was. She was very compassionate towards the clients, and it makes my heart melt, that my kids are so loving and compassionate and fun and brilliant, and my daughter's a wonderful mother. Oh my goodness, she's a wonderful job with my grandson, and so grateful. I have wonderful friends in my life that don't judge me. I don't judge them, but they don't judge me, and they love me for who I am, and they can confide in me. It's just a really wonderful life, and I know I wouldn't have had this life if I wasn't sober, if I wasn't clean and sober. And one of the things that I like to talk about when I come on here is creating that life, right? So I firmly believe we drink and drug to numb. We do it because we don't like the way we feel. So it's a state change, and for a lot of us, we used it as a coping skill. It worked really great until it didn't work so great anymore, right? But it was a coping skill. And so when you put down the substances, you're still left with your life. You're still left with all the problems, and you're still left with lack of coping skills, right? So maybe you you don't speak assertively, you don't act assertively, or maybe you don't feel motivated, or maybe you don't know your purpose, or you have a low self-esteem, or all these issues, one or all of them. And so you still are left with that. And so unless you take care of those things, unless you nurture that part of you so that you don't need to use the substances, it's been my experience, and I've noticed it in a lot of other people too, you will go back. You will go back to using, because that's what you know. And psychologically, like neurologically, our brains are habitual. Like our brains like to make habits because they like to run efficiently. And if we make something a habit, we don't have to, it's not so much mental consumption to think about it all the time. We can just do it automatically, and we can reserve our thinking for other things, right? We can reserve our mental capacity for other things. So, and I've explained that in a lot of videos too, but it's just physiologically, right? So that's how we're built. So breaking a habit is very, very difficult, because naturally our brains want to do that, right? And so making new habits is key, and that takes time. But if you don't create new habits, if you just stop something, your brain will automatically revert to what it knew, what it did. It wants to run efficiently. It wants to run smoothly. It doesn't want to cause distress, right? And that's basically what you're doing. And people say, oh, if I don't have a drink, I'm stressed out. Yeah, because your brain's used to doing this thing, and now you're making it work, 100 times more to do something that it's totally not used to doing. And yeah, so it's so much easier to go back to what you know, less stressful. I can make a whole video, and I have made videos on how stress works, and why we do what we do, and all that, the stress response. But ultimately, the point I'm making is that it's key to create a life. It's not gonna be no stress. I mean, we have stress, and there's a reason why we have stress. But you want to make all the unnecessary stresses, or reduce the amount of stresses, or have healthy coping skills to deal with the stresses that you have in your life, right? And so for a lot of people, AA was the way, or is the way, right? And it is a way, and it's a very helpful way for a lot of people. It's my belief it's not the only way. I've seen people, recover other ways. I myself, I've used a lot of different, programs and skills and things that I've learned and picked up from here and there. I use it all in my life, right? Because it's all helpful, it's all good. And the more knowledge, the more I know about myself and about different ways of dealing with life, the better I am and the happier I am. And gratitude is a coping skill. So I try to I do my gratitude list every morning, and when I find myself complaining throughout the day, which sometimes happens, I am more aware of it, because I've practiced this mindfulness. I'm more aware of it, I become aware of it, and I just think of 3, 5 things, whatever it takes, things that I'm grateful for at that moment. And I really get specific with not only what they are, but how they feel deep in my heart, right? So that helps me. And like I say, I call it flipping the script, right? I change my mental state. I change my mental state to a positive without the use of substances. Yes, that is the answer. To change your state in the positive without substances. Or it's not just substances, it's also shopping, gambling, sex, relationships, whatever, cutting, burning, purging, food. It's all of it. Like, we'll revert to other things to change our state. So it's finding those positive things to change our state, so that we create a life we don't want to numb from. Bam! Anyway, that's enough for me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Remember to let the people that you love know that you love them. Send them that text. Even if, you feel in the right, be the bigger person. Reach out to them first. Tell them you love them. If you can give them a hug, give them a hug. I keep wanting to say call and hug at the same time. Give them a hug. And live your life enthusiastically, because there really isn't any other way. Really isn't. And I hope you stay away from substances. If you like my videos, hit the subscribe button. Follow me, Recovery Enthusiast, on Facebook and Instagram. And check out my website, recoveryenthusiast.com. Until next time, guys.